Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. The mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching. How can I show that off? I've seen enough bases in enough streams from enough other players. There's almost nothing interesting about a big blob, right? Earlier, the starter base that was shown, it was intended to be small and efficient and compact. It was also ugly, and I think beauty is an important part of the game. So when I look at these things and I go, yeah, that pleases me. When I look at this and I like the orderliness of it and I can see where things go, especially when I can add color, that makes it much more pleasant for me to play. I don't think, man, I'd rather be playing something else. I think, oh man, I want to keep going. I want to make this better. So I segment and I move and I keep them clean. So I have one for infrastructure, I have one for science, and I have one for rocket parts. And those three are split up. There used to be four. There used to be one for supplies, but I got lots of crap in multiplayer for that, so I abandoned that one. But those three are set up that way because of the sizing of what I can build. I could build one mammoth base, right? But if you look at the requirements for these things, there's a lot of similarity, but there's a lot of difference. If I were to try and put all this research, and all of this rocket parts into one factory, I'm using all of these intermediates. Production area isn't that big of a deal. It's how much space the intermediates take up. And I would have to mash these together, and then I wouldn't really know, is it efficient? I've considered it. It would be a really tall stack. Right, but a lot of trains coming in, and then I've got to deal with train issues too. I just like saying, okay, well, this does this thing. I'm going to get in the spider to do this work because I'll be immune from the poison gas. And the trees. All right, get him out of the way. Well, you can use the blueprints I have, and then just improve them. But what I did is I just broke it down into what I needed. I'll tell you what really, really pushed my... Well, making everything is you got to quantify it. You can't say I'm going to make everything. Because what is everything? Everything is everything. And that doesn't make sense. If you don't need yellow belts anymore, don't make yellow belts anymore. Or, wooden power poles. So it's when you say everything, quantify everything to be what it is that you need, not everything. So what are you trying to do? If you're trying to launch a rocket, okay, work backwards. Use Kirk or Factory Planner or one of those to go from that direction. Cabs, thanks for the follow. Followers get their name on a cargo wagon, and you are on a steel wagon that is supplying research. A very special steel wagon, because this one I know is going over here to these engines. So you're supplying blue and yellow and purple. You're a busy fella. But it is in Saudi Arabia, so wear gloves. Metal's hot. Shipping that steel, burn your hand. All right, so as I've done before, well, these aren't going to stay. I'm going to split this in half. We've got 34, 22, 20, 19, 17. So we're going to put a pipe here. $17. Going to put a pipe here. I guess we will be using these. Sure, JP. You're welcome to post things in Discord. I will say that other people will probably comment on it, and they'll probably give you good compliments or good advice. But it's not like my Discord is private, so expect other people to join in. And I personally think that's great when they do that. All right. So all the ones below this line are facing that way, and this is facing this way. That's nice. These all need to be turned around. And then we'll do some sort of collection party here. Good. Well, let's finish this off with nice. All right, let's see if we can make this a little bit better. That's definitely going to be that. If you're there and you're there, then I can do this. Good. All right, got him. Power. Let's go way out here and see if we can't get something amenable. So let's start with this. Go up here. All right, so we want to go east one, west one. Here and here. Oh. You guys just don't cooperate. That works. That's a good start. Okay, it probably won't do it while I'm streaming, but I'll take a look at it eventually. You still missed by one, you little bugger. All right, let's condense these. And build it. Good, they're all pumping. That's pumping. And that's filling. And let's see how this lays out. Do I still have pump jacks? Not many. How many can I make? Quite a few. Alright, thanks, Yippee. Have a good night. I personally will be right back. Quick break time. All right. I should probably mark that down. It's done. I will probably not launch rockets tonight. I'll probably be done in a little while. But let's get this going. I need 4 more. Can I do it? Looks like it. Okay, so that's going to be a total of 20. So we'll do 10 here, 10 there. Run off my bots. Run a pipe here. And we'll run a pipe here. Normally what I do is that into a couple of tanks. I think what I'm going to do that doesn't work at all. And then you'll eventually meet up over here. And when you do, you'll get to the corner, and then I'll put you in that standard positioning. Good. Now, this shit show that I despise so much. Got that done. That's in good shape. If that were turned there, I could do things a little easier. Ah, that's very nice. I like that. All right, power. So we need to power the pumps on this one. Which means at minimum here. And that is a collision I do not want. And I wish you hadn't done that. This is where I really want them to go. If I push it farther north, or if I pull it farther south, this is okay with me, and this is not. You're just a shit show. Fuck you. Purple Rose, not tonight. I'm doing some other stuff. How are you? I did my cool playlist the last couple of days, and I wanted to do something more low-key. And thank you for the kind words on the playlist. That's very polite. Much appreciated. You know what? This works. For the most part. That gets me nothing. How does that not work? Oh, because I put this too low. God, I hate this. I am just milliseconds away from some profanity-laced tirade of unjoyness that this exercise brings. The disease that is oil. And I know there's a mod for it, and I am really close to getting it. Because I'm almost to the point where I don't care how it looks anymore. It's just so annoying to set up. And now I need pumps. Well, it is a Spotify playlist, and I can share with you the Spotify playlist if that's something you would like. Absolutation. Yeah, I think that's the case. Because and I think the reason that you're right about that absolutation is because it's the resource layout I can't control. And if you haven't figured out, I'm a bit of a control freak. Although I just saw an interview with Alex Hermosi, conversation with Alex Hermosi, and I've got to listen to it again because he makes a great point about people claiming that you're overly controlling and detail oriented, but that's how greatness happens. You can't have something that you love if you're just casual about it. You've got to play with those details and got to be willing to play with those details. I'm like, I agree with you. And I am. I love the details. Okay, so this should be done. So I know that this train is now this train, so now you can go. And I want you to go, and I want to build another one, because that's such a long distance. And then once that's built, I'll give it that destination, and then send it on its way. And then I need to get the hell out of the way here, King Finerb. Alright. And I thought I had a train sitting around here, but anyways. 1, 2, 4, and 5. And I'll bring them all back to BAM. I already sent you back to Wadden, so I'll just stay on this train until I get to the Book. Didn't like those two being over top of each other. So I'll launch rockets on Thursday. Today, I'm going to go ahead and see about changing the station control to measure 2 chests. Oops, I was going to get off this train. I'll get off at October. You know what else? I'm going to turn this back into a normal 4-way. Just a guy. Welcome. I'm not on a brief break anymore. Just launched your first rocket. Congratulations. Well, I am playing on Earth. If you've launched a rocket, I recommend. Hey, did you play with biters? If you didn't play with biters, then play with biters. And if you want to go again, good. Then go into settings when you start the new game and tell it you want to do a rail world. If you really love combat, then tell it you want to do a death world. One or the other. And try and get yourself better at the process of building the infrastructure so you can easily build rockets. Because the game switches from an engineering puzzle to a logistics puzzle. And that's about where you are, is you have that opportunity. So I'm going to simplify this a bunch. This ended up not being a heavy traffic situation, so I just don't want all these signals here. Of course, that is... Well, what you can do, just the guys, there is a mod called editor extensions, and you can get mods from directly in the game. You don't even have to. You don't have to go to the mod portal. But editor extensions is a mod that lets you work in a sandbox type of thing, and I think I highly recommend it. I think it's a fantastic way to learn and experiment. And a lot of the blueprints you see here are me. They originally came from me playing, and then I took them into editor extensions and refined them, standardized them, found the consistencies of what I was doing, and was able to suss out what I needed to in order to be able to say, oh yeah, I like this to be this way. Editor extensions. Good, good. I use Kirk McDonald's website a lot. That's my primary go-to for planning things. So this is going to become a four-way. Okay. So I need more normal signals here and less of the other kind. Oh, and lamps. Thanks, Mango. Big heart. Jonas, thank you for the follow. Followers get their name on a cargo wagon, and right now you're on a plastic train that's in a siding. You might actually get moved. I'll move you to a different plastic train. There we go. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Where am I and what am I doing? Oh, cool. Well, now you're officially on the world. Just a guy almost 16 million. All right. You are also on a train that is on a siding, so we're going to move you to a functional iron train so that you're not just sitting there. There we go. Just move you up a little bit. So both of you are in Saudi Arabia, and as I've said before, it's very hot there. So I hope you brought a hat and gloves. You're supporting research. This is yellow research, just a guy. Jonas, you're already a follower. I got you, Jonas. That's for people who were followers but aren't new followers, because it only triggers on new followers. Jonas, you're supporting blue science. Your plastic goes into red circuits and goes into blue science. You're a chemist. Purple Rose. I have no way of knowing. I plan someday to write a UI for my for this mod because I need to be able to find a train that has a specific name on it. You're welcome to redeem another one. I allow one redeem per stream. So, Purple Rose, if you redeem another one, then I will run the script to put you on another one. You know how if you're playing an RPG like Skyrim and you save just before you do something horrible, or like if you're playing Baldur's Gate and it auto saves when you come into the room, and you're like, oh shit, something bad's about to happen, because it don't auto save unless something bad's about to happen. Well, I was just about to run the script to give Purple Rose name on a wagon, and the game auto saved. Now I'm nervous. There we go. You're on a red circuit train. This one is also going to blue science. So look at that. Jonas is providing plastic for Purple Rose. Well, like I'm still here. I'd have thought you'd have passed out by now. I couldn't resist, man. I'm sorry. Oh, it does sometimes. Mostly it's my fault. It's really rare for Factorio to crash just out of itself. Matter of fact, I don't know that I've ever seen it happen. Okay. I really should wrap it up and not get involved in another project. Well, like them, I could ask you about your dietary intake. You probably wouldn't want to have the conversation that would be necessary in order to be able to get you the guidance you need. But I have some knowledge in the area. What about vitamin supplements? Primary cause of colds is vitamin C and vitamin D deficiency. Have you been under an extreme amount of stress? Have your kids been exposed to new places or new things? And as far as the plant-based, are you still getting a lot of fat? Are you still getting a lot of protein? Because you got to eat like a pound of beans to get the protein your body needs. So, if you can, vitamin D supplements are great for viruses. And vitamin C obviously is great for, colds. And then the vitamin B is for stress. Now, the other thing that you can consider is acupuncture, acupressure. Either of those is going to give you an advantage. Well, sleep is one way to if you're lacking in sleep, you're just gonna have a bad day. We're just gonna leave that alone. All right. So there's two things I could be doing. So well, does Fitbit? All right, so you're falling asleep, but you're waking up. So there's two causes of waking up. There's disturbances, and there's lack of comfort or lack of security, right? The micro awakenings that happen when you're sleeping are because you're not comfortable and your body needs to move, or you're waking up because you're not safe, right? If you sleep somewhere that you're not used to sleeping, your body's going to keep waking you up because it's not sure that you're in a place that you should be sleeping. And so there could be predators, and so you're going to constantly wake up. Things that can help with that are soft foam earplugs, eye blinders. Obviously, you want your room completely dark. You don't want any of the little neon lights or reminder lights. Your phone should be in such a way that if you use it for an alarm clock, it's not visible. I have a digital clock in my bedroom, that only lights up when I make a sound so that it doesn't emit light naturally. I don't have a nightlight. Yeah, okay, well, here's the question, Lycum. Can you put it face down? Because you want your room as dark as possible, because as long as there's light, your body's going to think, do I need to pay attention to that? But if it's totally dark, it's like, I'm done here. Put a towel over it, something like that. When I used to have my computer in my bedroom, it had a flashing blue light, and I had to tape a piece of cardboard over it, and that sucker was bright. You don't find out how bright something is until you try to turn it off, and then it's just like, holy crap. I'm just diddling around right now. If only I could move these things, that would be really handy. Yeah, that's a good point. It's like I meditate every day. And there was times where I meditated for an hour a day. And one of my teachers, she goes, "You're alive to live. And if you're sleeping or meditating too much, you're not bringing forth life. You're not causing desire. And desire is an important part of life. And so people who don't want to sleep and people who don't want to sit still, those are people who are drawing forth life. They're doing things. So I cap my meditation at 15 minutes a day, even though I would love to do more. It's because I want to be actually out, doing stuff. So what I'm thinking of doing, and what I was fiddling with here, and that's what's right there, is changing these to measure two chests. And I did it here for space science, for science, because I'm half belting and I was getting one chest completely empty and the other one not at all. Because I'm only using one side of the belt. Now, the other ones don't really have that problem, but they kind of do. Some of them were having that problem, and I didn't like seeing it. And I'm only measuring one chest on these. Even though I've got this balancer that's taking care of that, what happens is this inside, in this case, this left one and this left one, because of the nature of how these are pulled off the belt, they're pulled off the belt on the left side of this belt. The inside, if you will. It pulls the inside, pulls the inside, pulls the inside. Right? And so what that translates to is that the inside and the inside and the inside and the inside all get emptied first. And that's what this little belt does, is it compensates for that by offloading that. But when you backtrack it all the way up here to the chest that's emptying out from this inserter and then being stuck here, they're side-loaded here, and so the result is that the inside one still gets pulled the most. Right? So the inside one on this one is this one here. So that's the inside one, and that's going to get pulled the most, even on this one. So these two, well, I got it backwards. Oh, because of this balancer. We see here, this has 8K, that has 6.5, 8, 6.5. Probably see a similar 7.9, 5.8, and this one's going the other way, so we see the exact same behavior in the other direction. So what I'm looking at, when I look at these things from numbers perspective, I'm looking at how much is in here, right? And it's reporting only the first of these two chests. But there's a big